Yo, what's good, YouTube? ZAMCRO here, aka Scoop, back with the farm, and we've got season 2, week number 10, and we are live. So, first off, we're going to go over the team builder real quick. As you see on screen, our team has not changed all season, will not from now on either. We do have Mega Alakazam, Celesteela, Hydreigon, Nidoqueen, Greninja, all of which are coming. We're also bringing Decidueye, but on the bench we have Comfey, Suicune, Oricorio, Zarda X, and Yanmega. My opponent has Staraptor, Jirachi, Zeraora, Dugtrio, Starmie, Chestnut, Blacephalon, Mantine, Rhydon, Mega Altaria, and the Skuntank. And we've decided to bring to this match specifically Mega Alakazam outpacing my opponent's entire squad, even up to his Zeraora. Wasn't playing any mind games there. Went ahead and outsped the Zeraora. We've got Psychic, Shadow Ball, Miracle Eye, and Protect. So what Miracle Eye does is it allows us to hit Skuntank with Psychic type of attacks, which are super effective thanks to its typing. Celesteela is a Protect, Leech Seed, Heavy Slam, Earthquake variant, Rocky Helmet, defensive, kind of there for the Staraptor, Jirachi, things like that. Mega offensive, physically offensive Mega Altaria. We have Hydreigon with the Dragonium Z, Draco Meteor, Dark Pulse Flash Cannon for perfect coverage versus my opponent's squad, with Roost as our last move for longevity. We do outpace up to Mega Altaria with max HP, which is really nice for us. We have a Shed Shell, Nidoqueen with Stealth Rock, Sludge Wave, Earth Power, and Surf. Surf is there specifically for the Rhydon. Just want to blow that thing away 100%. Sludge Wave and Earth Power hit the rest of his squad for at least neutral or super effective damage. Greninja is a Choice Scarf variant with 4 attacks: Surf, Dark Pulse, Ice Beam, and Water Shuriken. Shuriken's there for just in case. And he could potentially be like a Scarf Dugtrio or something like that. So last but not least, we have a defensive Decidueye with U-Turn, Spirit Shackle, Toxic, and Roost, Leftovers ability, and yeah, so let's go ahead and hop into the battle. And we'll be right back. Alright, so my opponents decided to bring Zeraora, Blacephalon, Jirachi, Mantine, Mega Altaria, and the Dugtrio. So definitely got to watch out for trapping potential from the Dugtrio. No Psychic immunity means he's more than likely a Spadef variant on Jirachi, and could more than likely be his lead. We're going to lead off with Hydreigon and see what our opponent wants to lead off with. And does lead off with the Mantine here. So I would hate to not get anything out of the turn if he goes into Mega Altaria and lose my Z move. But how much does my Z move even do to like Mantine if it's specially defensive? So not too much actually. We're not very much invested, so let's get a couple different options here. So, Devastating Drake into Draco does not knock out. I need Stealth Rocks up. So I could Dark Pulse and see what my opponent actually wants to do, but I'm fairly certain he just wants to click Toxic. So worst case, he goes for the Toxic, right? I'm going to go into Decidueye and throw off a Toxic of my own. If my opponent goes out into Mega Altaria, that's fine. If he goes out into Jirachi, that's also fine. However, landing a Toxic on this Mantine is very, very important for me. And my opponent did Toxic me. I forgot to mention that. So, it's very unlikely my opponent just leaves this in and allows me to get a Spirit Shackle off. but I don't want to risk anything. I'm going to go hard out to my Celestilla as my opponent decides to get a Stealth Rocks up. So that's not a bad play whatsoever. He could go out into Mantine once again here. I'm just going to throw off a Lead Seed. He could go hard Zera Aura as well, but that gives me a little bit of a leeway thanks to having Middle Queen, a physically defensive Middle Queen that I can go into, and I am Shed Shell, so if he doubles into the trio, it won't necessarily matter. It does go into the Mantine, and we do land our Lead Seed, so that's really nice for us. So we could go into, I think we just go into Decidueye once again here, see what our opponent wants to do. And instead of throwing off a Toxic this turn, we're going to throw off a Spirit Shackle. My opponent does just click Scald there as well. Or is Toxic still the play? I'm going to pause. Alright, so what's happened was my opponent went hard into his Mega Altaria on my Spirit Shackle, and I went hard into my Celestilla as my opponent went for Fire Blast and was able to effectively get 67% versus me. So he could risk it and go for it once again. He's got a really high percentage to land it, so he may just very well go for it. Celestilla is not very, very important for me in this match, as mostly all it's doing is, you know, getting Rocky Helmet damage on Jirachi at this point. So I could click Protect here. My opponent knows that. I'm going to throw off a Lead Seed as my opponent goes for the Hyper Voice. So that was a fine play there. I am going to go out into my Middle Queen though and get my own Stealth Rocks up too, so I can compete with my opponent. So that's going to be the play. See what our opponent wants to do here. He could drop a Draco as well, my opponent, which could be problematic for me. So I could Scout, go into my Decidueye now on a potential Draco, but I don't want to lose 2 Mons if I don't have to. My opponent does go into the trio, and we are able to get our rocks up. So he's not going to expect being able to switch out into my Hydreigon here, and he goes straight for the Earthquake. Yeah, pretty much expected. But now the Mantine is weakened. So we'll take Stealth Rocks. We'll put it at 25. I'm going to go for the Dark Pulse here and expect either the Mantine or the Mega Altaria to come in. Of course, he could sack off his Blacephalon or his Jirachi, and I expect this Dark Pulse to put this thing in range of Z Draco. So that's what I'm going to go for here. I am able to knock out our opponent. We did get a critical hit there, but I'm not sure that mattered. And our opponent brings out the Altaria here. So, how much do I do if you're offensive? Do I do with Flash Cannon here? So with Flash Cannon, I do have a chance to knock him out here. And he has to go for the Hyper Voice. And what does Hydreigon do for me at this point? Puts this thing in range of Greninjas. I'm just going to click Flash Cannon here. We do a nice 40% or so. But it's not going to be enough to knock him out, which is unfortunate for me. Kind of prompting me to go into my Middle Queen here. I'm going to go hard into my Niddle Queen on this turn, expecting him to roost up once more, be out of range of a 2-hit KO. That's the plan at this point, is I'm just going to go hard in my Niddle Queen. I could keep it for Zeraora, but I believe Hydreigon is a little bit more important for the Blacephalon. So our opponent does go for the Hyper Voice on that turn. And I believe we're just going to click Earth Power here. If he goes into Jirachi, that's fine, and we'll blow that thing away. If he stays in, which is, I don't expect him to, but he could, we'll leave him in range of Mega Alakazam. And I can start firing off Psychics. However, if he does switch out to the Jirachi, that would be fantastic for me. Actually, I'm going to go for the Sludge Wave. If my opponent goes into... No, I'm going to go for the Earth Power. If my opponent goes into Jirachi, that's bad for me. If my opponent... On my Sludge Wave, that is. If my opponent stays in with Mega Altaria, that's not the end of the world for me. And if he goes Dugtrio on my Sludge Wave, I can sack off Decidueye and get a U-turn. So if my opponent doesn't want to lose the Dugtrio, I can U-turn out and see what he does want to lose. Yeah, that's going to be the play. My opponent does go for the Fire Blast there. So my opponent could actually Roost here, expecting me to not have a Poison type move. No, he does not. He does not do that. That would be silly. So if Earth Power did 31, that's pretty much expected. If I go into Greninja, I can lock myself into Ice Beam and eventually put myself in a position to lock into Earth Power. Dark Pulse. Also, going into Mega Alakazam right now would also allow me to knock out this Mega Altaria. And I can do it with Shadow Ball, oddly enough. Is that a real calc? I wonder how fast this thing is. It's got, oh, he's faster than my Niddle Queen, but my Niddle Queen had no speed. Could also go into Mega Alakazam and just click Shadow Ball. Since he is specially offensive, he won't be able to knock me out in return. However, that could put me in range of Dugtrio. So maybe my best play is just go into Mega Alakazam and click Psychic. Actually, my best play was going into Hydreigon and clicking Flash Cannon. Damn it. We're going to Mega Evolve. So, our opponent's got a couple different plays he could go for here. Unfortunately. I think his best play is U-turning out into Dugtrio. What can we do to beat that up? So we're just going to go for Shadow Ball. Do a nice 44% there. As our opponent does go for the U-turn, likely going into his Dugtrio now. So what we can do is just click protect versus that. See what he wants to lock himself into. He's going to go for the Earthquake. He may not be Arena Trap, so I'm going to try to switch out, and I cannot. So now I'm just going to click Psychic. And I believe that gives me Hydreigon. I believe I just go into Hydreigon here. On the first turn, I'm going to click Roost. He can sack off Jirachi or Mega Altaria, maybe the Zeraora. I'm going to Roost up though, so I'll be at full. He can't hurt me at this point. He goes for a Roost, I'm immune. I get back to full health. He goes for Roost again, I'm still immune. And I outpace everything on his squad outside of the Blacephalon and Zeraora, and of course the Dugtrio. Yeah, I made a big misplay when I brought in my Mega Alakazam. It could very well come back to be the game ender for me. However, I do have Choice Scarf Greninja in the bag still. And I think I'm only speed tying. My Greninja's only speed tying with Adamant Dugtrio instead of actually outpacing Adamant Dugtrio. I'm going to have to double check on that in a second. Actually, I'm going to double check on that now. No, okay. Adamant Dugtrio is way faster than what I thought. How much bulk do we have on Grin? 60 HP investment. There's no move in Blacephalon's arsenal that he can go for to knock me out. I believe Mega Altaria is pretty close to being in range of Greninja's Surf as well. So late game Surf could be played. So he switches out into his Jirachi, effectively, making that thing pretty useless. Does bring in his Zeraora, so pretty much going to go for the close combat here, I expect. Goes for the hidden power, actually. Likely he has the knockoff, so we are just going to click Spirit Shackle on the first turn here. As our opponent sacks off the Mega Altaria. That was nice for us. Able to do the 21% it needed to do. Our opponent brings back in the Zeraora though. I assume just wanting to put us in range of hidden power. So my plays are Spirit Shackle, and then I go into Hydreigon to click Dark Pulse, and what I'm going to try to do is put this thing in range of Greninja's Water Shuriken, and then that's what I'm going to try to win with, is Water Shuriken. Right. So I could take rocks damage with Greninja. That would be at 96%. No, I take 12. So I'd be at 88%. Switch back out to my Hydreigon on the Plasma Fist. Bring back in Greninja on Stealth Rocks. I'll be at 76. what range does Blacephalon have to be in order to drop to a water shuriken that gets 2 hits? So I'm going to go out to my Hydreigon. My play is to put this thing in range of Greninja's Water Shuriken. And then I have to try to win with Water Shuriken. I might actually be able to win with Zeraora too. Okay, he reveals the close combat. So now I am nowhere near Zeraora. She got -1 special defense. I'm just going to see if Dugtrio is actually able to knock me out. So, Choice, Scarf, Surf right now. Choice, Scarf, Surf right now. Let's go Greninja. Let's go Greninja. Just seeing if he decides to switch out here, how much damage I will be doing too. So he was in range. He was in range. He was in range. Oh, he brings in the Blacephalon. Come on. Fucking hell. Yes. So that's going to be a good game. And we're going to pick up a nice 1-0 victory here. Damn, that was fucking close. That was fucking close. But yeah, we're going to be moving on to 7-3 now, I believe, after week 10. That's fantastic for us. Let me know what you guys thought. Well, first of all, good game to my opponent. Thank you for playing. Wow, that was intense. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought about the prep and the plays on both sides of the field. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. All the good stuff, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.